up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday afternoon to all of you. A very disappointing afternoon, but I guess the glory had to come to an end at some point, and it certainly did come to an end. Let's take a quick look at what happened. First off, San Diego, Miami, I stayed off of it. Lamette had a fine performance. The under cashed. Then my Phillies first five, at times I thought it was in business, and the first five under five, both losers. And I didn't bet the first five under five because it was only available at 4.5 in my book, so I saved $125 there. And then 2 overs in Boston. First five over, full game over, not even close. Pannone looked great. Sale was a monster. Then I cash with Kansas City, first five -0.5, and then I push the full game -1. So an ugly start. And then the Wings look like they have a chance at cashing here with just a hundo, but a very disappointed. The glory is slowed, but we're gonna find those winners and get back to the glory right now. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Tease, Vinny Cornell, Nut Flush Allen, Joe and Nisi. I'm in the coffee pit. Joe and Nisi's on under first five, Oakland, Minnesota, Washington moneyline, St. Louis moneyline, and San Francisco Giants moneyline, and over 7. New York Mets, San Francisco Giants. That's my only play on the late card, and that's already 7.5s everywhere you look, like we expected. So I feel good about that spot right there. There's Anthony Mastronardi, our guy Anthony Mastronardi out of Windsor. He was at the low bag Summit of Champions. Jonathan Succi, Deer Slayer, Ski in the house. Ron the Loft and Russell Gordy, Anna Merrick. Here, Anna Merrick will be joining us near the end of the show to drop what he thinks, hand out some winners in UFC. Looking forward to have Anna Merrick back on the show. Then we got Coco Bongo. Says, I'm drunk at the beach, waist high in water, pissing, drinking, smoking, and watching this show. Oh, man, that's good. Coco Bongo. That's a copy and paster. Man, God. You know, some people think it's enough just to smoke, drink, and watch the show, but not our guy Coco Bongo. He's pissing too. Oh, man, what a guy. Man, the guy just, the guy does it all, man. There's nothing that Coco Bongo can't do. Joshua Matt V in the house says, let's get it, everyone. We got Maxwell Smart. Maxwell Smart. I had the joy of sharing the screen with him yesterday on the Sports Keg. Man, does Maxwell Smart put a smile on my face. We got Canadian Capper 72. Another Canadian Capper 72, Anthony Mastronardi, both in Windsor. You guys should hook up. For drinks at that shitty off track in that Italian restaurant. I love it though. I love that. I find that little Italian restaurant off track absolutely hilarious. But that's where you guys should meet up. All right, yo in the house, Grim Reaper ready to go. Don Mago, MLS Portland moneyline and FC United over 2.5. There's Don Mago handing out winners. Catered to you by Chef Jeff is in this thing. Nutflush Allen says, towing the trailer with the entire Nutflush family to the beach vacation. Oh, Kristen, Caden, Bailey, and Skylar all listening to the show. Wow, what a treat it is to be in the car with the Allen family, whom I love so dearly. Oh, what a treat, man. What a treat. We have the Allen family listening, and we have Coco Bongo in the beach drinking and halfway up to his waist in water, drinking and smoking. Okay. Russell Gordy, ready to go. He says, walking into Hooters to get $500 on the under in the Sparks game. Nice work on the under there. Am I going to cash? Yes, it's over, right? It's over. I cashed Dallas Wings. Beautiful. +7. They lose by 5. That's a casher. Beautiful. We got Maxwell Smart, Astute Chaos, Alex Ramirez, Nick Catullus. There. Nick Catullus. Anil Frank, Eric Jones. Russell Gordy, $500 on the under in the Sparks game. Sounds great. All right. This is a great opportunity for us. A great opportunity for us because we have a small amount of games that we can deep dive into and lock down. Also, Nutflush Allen family, Kristen, I need you and our guy Nutflush Allen in Miami with us. There was some talk about all the rooms being filled up. That is not the case. They opened up another block of rooms for us. I'm going to put the link right now. Miami, you want to party with Whale Capper, DJ Big Boss, Parlay Poppy. If you want to touch the hair, because you guys all are wondering if that's a real hair or if it's fake hair, come to Miami. That's where Parlay Poppy and his hair, which I would bet real. I've spent time with the guy. I would put money on that hair being real. I know not a lot of you guys believe that. but I do believe that. Whale Capper, Donnie Rightside, Drew Martin, and more. Please meet us in Miami. I'm going to put the link right here. Here we go. There's the link. And this gets you the deal. The great, great deal. Not $200 a night. No, we got it down to $129 and no resort fee. All right, here we go. Red Girl. There's Red Girl joining the show. If you want to party with Red Girl, you come to Miami. Terrell Goodman in the house. Cashed 6 first fives yesterday, so you're feeling pretty lucky. I like that. That's not luck, that's skill. There's Joey Avang. There's Not Applicable. Not Applicable does not believe that Poppy's hair is real. I do. Guru Sports Bets in the house. Ty Clinton. Derek Tucker says Diamondbacks straight up tonight. We just cashed on them yesterday. Atlas Party. Muhammad Joma says Braves and A's shouldn't be dogs. Both win. Court Wiley says, let's get this money. I need a turnaround for the taint play of the day. Last two have missed. Yes, they have missed. But, it ebbs and flows, as we know. As we know with capping and in life. It ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's glorious. Sometimes it's more difficult. The taint play of the day is going through an ebb right now. Astute Chaos, early bets. Detroit, Cleveland, first 5 under 4.5 at -108. Washington, Atlanta, under 5 at -103. There's Trot Wham. There's Optimus Prime. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay, let's get to work right now. There's Keith Sadler, who hit a monster 5-team parlay yesterday. And we got to get these winners. And we will go over them right now. We have the lineups. We have the market moves. We have the cappers. Now what we need are the winners. Let's start off. Where should we start off? We'll just go down in order here. And we're not going to bother with the Rays, Yankees, game 2. Let's talk Tigers, Indians, Boyd, Bauer, 89 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour, out to straight away center field. The Tigers 17 and 30 on the road. They're better on the road than they are at home. Then we have the Indians at 29 and 20 at home, and the Indians are rolling. We have the Indians to win the AL Central at plus 1,100, and they're only 4 games back, and that excites me enormously. Let's see what we're talking. Market moves right now. Here we go. Money lines and totals. Cleveland opens up at -207. There's been a 1-cent move towards them. The total opened up at over 8.5 at -117. There's been an 8-cent move towards the over. And Greatest Ever says, Jimmy, don't forget me. I hit 6. Beautiful stuff, Greatest Ever. How could I ever forget you? How? Impossible. C-Dom 37, ready to go. Joe Anisi, ready to go. Says, just the way Jimmy says, Miami gets me excited. Oh, man. Miami. Come on. Oh, it's just going to be the greatest weekend of my life. There is the Sports Keg joining us. I had the honor of being on his show yesterday, and it was so much fun. I absolutely love that show. Check it out. Ulysses, ready to go. Larry Savage, Rich G, Guru Sports Bets, Vegas Lawrence. Saying, and Jeff Joseph says, just got in, the horse contest canceled. Yes, sadly, the Beat the Bag just postponed. On Saturday, they are canceling the Saratoga card. It is too hot. In upstate New York. It's going to be about 105 degrees. So we're just moving it ahead one Saturday, which gives us more time to promote it. So Beat the Bag, Saratoga will be coming very soon. And Greatest Ever says, hit with Dallas Stars plus 1 or at $100. That's Ski Profit. And there's Capper John. Okay, let's get to work. There's Jason Turgi. There's Rostradamus. There's Marcellus Wallace. We haven't seen some of these guys. Okay, let's get to work. Here we go. Bauer, Boyd. We have the Indians as a huge favorite. You'd have to take him on the run line. Boyd coming off a not-so-good start, but he still is their best pitcher. 3.95 ERA, 1.14 whip, 152 Ks in 114 innings. Very, very impressive. The Indians have won 10 of 12. They're 14 games over 500, just 4 games behind Minnesota, and Jose Ramirez is raking. Bauer sustained his first loss since June 6th. In his last start against Minnesota, 3 solo shots. He's 9-6 with a 5.40 ERA, 19 career appearances against the Tigers, but 1-1 in 3 outings this year. 4 runs on 10 hits and a 4-1 loss on April 10th, and then 4 hits while recording the lone shutout of his career on June 16th. Matthew Boyd, last outing versus Cleveland, looked bad. 3 home runs, 5 runs in total in 6 innings, no decision on June 21st. He's 2-3 with a 3.40 ERA and 10 career appearances. I am not making a move here on, and Coco Bongo says, good for Saratoga, horses health first. Absolutely. I thought it was a very good move that Saratoga was making. It's going to cost them money, but it's all about the horse's health. I agree. Absolutely agree. Coco Bongo. All right, Ski Profit ready to get to work. We're all ready to get to work, and I really want nothing to do with this game. Dave LA says Indians first 5 run line or parlay the money line. We know that this Indians team just destroys the Tigers. They beat them 10 times in a row. But at minus 200 against their best pitcher, it just doesn't sound appealing to me. Now, this total has moved to 9 at Pinnacle, 9 at Intertops. Interesting. So it's moved a half run up. I would lead you to believe that the over is in play. I hear what Dave LA is saying, Indians first 5 run line or parlay money line. I don't really want to do either. Let's see what we'd get on the first 5 run line right now. First 5 point spreads here at sportsbookreview.com, SBR odds page. Minus 125, minus a half. I don't dislike it. Bookie Lover Q says Boyd on innings count in the second half. Marcellus Wallace on the Indians team total over 4.5. And Capper John says for my next trick in CFL laid minus 12.5 on Calgary. We will be breaking down that CFL game. Argos at Stampeders. In totality, I'm going to be on the over. I have not made that bet yet, but that's what I am going to be doing. All right. Fight Brand B says pass game. Fight Brand B, I agree. Now we're going to go to this Cardinals at red spot. Remember, Babano is on the over from the early show. Cardinals 20-26 on the road. Reds 24-21 at home in this tightly packed division. Let's check out the market moves. Here we go. And I didn't go over the lineups. My fault. I didn't go over the lineups in that last game. Let me pull it out here for the Indians. For the Indians, we have Lindor, Mercado, Santana, Luplo, Ramirez, Perez, Kipnis, Bowers, Naquin. Naquin hitting at the back end of that lineup really, really makes their offense stronger. For the Tigers, Reyes, Castro, Cabrera, Castellanos. Supposedly, Castellanos feels like he's about to erupt. He's been bad all year. We'll see if that's true. Stewart, Goodrum, Beckham, Bobby Wilson, Jordy, Mercer. Now, for the Cardinals, Reds. For the Cardinals, Edmund, Martinez, Goldschmidt. And there is Burnaby's own Tyler O'Neill in the cleanup spot. Burnaby, BC's own. Then Fowler, Wieters, DeYoung, Wong, and Hudson. For the Reds, Winker, Votto, Suarez, Puig, Jeanette, Irvin, Iglesias, Gratterall behind the plate. Interesting. Gratterall behind the plate. I would guess that he's never caught Rourke. His total opened up at 9.5. It's now 10s across the board. That's an interesting look. That is a very, very interesting look. Dakota Hudson, 8-4, 3.48 ERA, 1.51 WHIP. Tanner Rourke, 5-6, 3.99 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. Dave LA says, just in case you missed it, A's team total over 4.5 at minus 135. Cardinals money line at plus 100. Nationals money line at minus 130. Brewers money line at minus 105. And parlay plus 203 is the A's and the Indians. And Ron Crawford spreadsheet plays Cleveland, Houston, San Francisco, and cash for Boston. Man, God, it's hard for me not to think about the Allen family on vacation. What a sweet situation that is. Man, what a loving family. I hope you guys have an incredible vacation. Let's go back to this Cardinals red spot. Cardinals 4-2 coming out of the All-Star break. Dakota Hudson looking to win his 3rd straight start. Allowed 3 runs, 6 hits over 5 innings in a win at San Francisco on July 5th. And we know that San Francisco team, it was eating. They're hitting. He struck out 6, he walked 3. It's better than it looks. Hudson, better last time out on Saturday, allowed 2 runs, 3 hits in 6 innings, 4-2 win against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And we just saw what the Diamondbacks just did offensively. 2 career starts for him against the Reds, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 5 2/3. Interesting. So April 27th in St. Louis, 5 2/3, 3 runs, 7 hits. And then he comes back in June, early June, 1 run, 5 hits, and 6 1/3. He's looked good. Rourke sat through a rain delay, 3 hours at Colorado, and then got served. 7 runs, 13 hits, lasted just 4 2/3 innings. Rourke faced the Cardinals once this season and looked good. 1 run, 6 hits, and 5 1/3. He's 2-3 in his career against St. Louis with a 5.74 ERA in 8 games. Rostradamus says hot and humid in Cincy. Take another look at this temperature, 91 Fahrenheit. That's just the Fahrenheit. Let's see what it feels like. Let's go to baseball data right now. I'm sure it is extremely hot in Cincy. Let's take a look. Here we go. It feels like 95, and at 8 p.m., it's going to feel like 97. Wow. Wow. T says, Jimmy, are there going to be name tags for Miami? No. No, I don't think there will be, Tease, but I didn't ever really think about it. Dave LA says all Major League games are in hot weather. It's summer. That was not true in Boston today, Dave. It was 67 Fahrenheit. It was kind of strangely chilly in Boston. Sports Keg saying Ronnie Crawford is a beast. He certainly is. Certainly is. Ulysses Hayes says St. Louis, write it down, Jimmy the Bag. And Viper MB's on the under. And Ski Profit, Hudson under 10-7-1, St. Louis under 6 of the last 7, Rourke under 12-6, Cincinnati under 4 of the last 6, top 10 ERA. Ulysses Hayes says St. Louis won't lose. Trust me. So we have Ulysses Hayes and Dave LA on the St. Louis Cardinals and Dakota Hudson. Remo says maybe Nutflush can adopt you and you can join their family vacation. Yes. Thank you for writing that, Remos. I hope that crosses your mind on this drive. I am 39 years old, so it'd be a strange fit for the family. But, I think it'd work. I'm Caden's older brother, Okay, let's stay focused here. Big Guy Bubba says liking cards and under for sure. And then Red Girl coming in with the Reds and under. Cincinnati opened up at minus 123, a 4-cent move towards the Cardinals. And then we have 10s around the board. And Joe and Easy says, I'm on St. Louis too. The St. Louis team is just not to be trusted. I don't care that they're 4-2 out of the All-Star break. They're 20-26 on the road. They don't have Matt Carpenter in the lineup. I just don't know why I'd trust them. Derek Tucker says I took the under 10 in St. Louis, or in Cincinnati. I would like that under 10, but watching the market move up a half run just kind of makes me not want to go against the market. Russell Gordy says Reds were rolling like them today. Ulysses Hayes is on the Cardinals money line, the Giants money line, Atlanta money line, and Oakland money line. And there's our guy Vegas Lawrence saying Vegas Aviators under 12.5. That line is too high. Vegas Lawrence giving us a Vegas Aviator play under 12.5. Oh, I like that play, Vegas Lawrence. Thank you for sharing that. Larry Savage says betting on cards Reds today is like betting on a coin flip. Russell Gordy says I don't like St. Louis on the road, gents. And Larry Savage says no edge. And I'm sitting here going over it, and I don't see an edge. I do not want it. I know what Russell's saying. I mean, we were watching these Cardinals in and out. We thought they were going to be a good team this year. They have not been. 6 games under 500 on the road. Bookie Lover Q says Reds got injuries. Okay, let's take a look at these lineups right now and go over what we're looking at. Oh, we did already. Because Gratterall is catching. Gratterall is catching for Rourke. I don't like the fact that Gratterall is catching for Rourke. Rourke probably bounces back after that terrible start in Colorado, but I don't like it. It does lead me to want to back the Cardinals. Looking at these lineups, we know that Suarez is hot. I just don't want the Cardinals on the road. And if I'm going to take them on the road, I want a plus line. Oh, man. Divisional game, Bookie Lover Q says St. Louis always steps up. Josh Minnie on the Reds team total over. There's Flick My Bick in the house. Says, Mr. Bag, I've missed the show, spilled coffee on my computer and had to drop $1,500 on a new one. But never fear, the Bick is here. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's get you some winners and make that money back fast. Capper John says, Cardinals, Reds, I have nothing movement-wise. Alex Ramirez, Spidey play of the day is on the Giants money line. All right, I guess I would just leave it at a lean. I have a lean towards the Cardinals. 5 miles per hour sideways is the wind. Let's move on to National Braves and see if we can find an angle here. 2 games in and no plays from me. Strasburg and the Nationals open up at minus 123. There's been a 22-cent move towards them. The total opened up at 9.5, and now it's at 10. Also, that is not Julio Teheran pitching. Wow. Let's go to Roto World and see if I can get that more information on what happened to Julio Teheran and why he is not pitching here. Let's go right now. We have Senzel gets good news from hamstring MRI, but we know he's out of the lineup. Braves activate Inciarte. Chapman's not going to play today, and we were hoping that would change the line. It has not. Wow, and I'm not getting any information here on that. Interesting. Okay, that's fine. We have Wright, though, pitching now. That's why the move has been 20 cents, because Wright is the starter and no Teheran. Maxwell Smart says, give me an early Leche a los bookmakers. Maybe that's what this show needs. step it up a little bit. Maybe that's what it needs to get the proper energy that this show deserves. Leche, Halos Bookmakers, let's get after it. Dave LA wants Nationals money line, says trust me. Helio top set on Nats first 5 and full game over. Atlas parties on Braves team total over 5.5. Viper and B, Nats first 5. Joe Anisi's laughing at Kyle Wright. Coco Bongo's laughing at the $1,500 purchase for a computer. Says he buys his computers out of a van in an alley. Respect, Coco Bongo. Respect. Mohamed Joma is on the Braves money line. Christopher Comentini's on the Nats. Larry Savage is on the Nats. Neil Money says today is tough. Jonathan Suchi coming in with the Kim Jong-un parlay of the day. Indians, Astros, Giants. Sounds rich and fat, that parlay. Ski Profit leaning Braves. Q Wilson liking the under in St. Louis, Cincinnati. Terrell Goodman says Nats first 5, book it. Let's get a better read on Wright because I did not know that he was going to be starting. I had thought this was going to be Teheran. Let's get a nice read on him right now. I'm going to pull up his numbers. Here we go. There we go. See what we're talking about here with Kyle Wright. Wow. Some ugly, ugly numbers. Some ugly, ugly, ugly numbers. We're going to have to go to Baseball Reference and pick up his minor league numbers because we're not getting anything from this. 14 innings. He's been lit up. 1.79 whip. 4 home runs allowed in 14 innings. This sounds like I should not be getting that. Getting a Strasburg for cheap, it feels like. Let's see what Kyle Wright's minor league numbers were quickly and then make a decision here. It feels like we're getting Strasburg for cheap. It certainly feels like this. We know that Atlanta has no bullpen. And now we have 23-year-old Kyle Wright coming in. Let's see. He was drafted, 5th overall in 2017 out of Vandy. This guy is a monster. See how he's done in AAA this year. In AAA, Gwinnett, 4.86 ERA, 7-4, 67 Ks, and 70 1/3, 21 walks, 10 home runs allowed. Wow. They definitely expect more out of Kyle Wright. Kobe Valentine in the house. Long time since we've seen Kobe. Nice to have him join us. He's on Cardinals, Nationals, Athletics, Brewers, Giants. A parlay at just shy of 2,500. Anil Frank's on the Nats first 5 -0.5. Bookie Lover Q said jumped off Nats for 2 reasons, Jimmy, and that was one. Jumped off the Nats for 2 reasons. Capper John says, I will pass. Nats, Braves, over seems the way to go. Joe De Leon says, hit right early before they take him off the mound. Guru likes the Nats here. Dave LA says, did you see how Braves pitchers were treated by the Brewers? Well, Nationals are going to hit them like a piñata. Kobe Valentine says, no reason to ever fade Strasburg on the road where he is 30-7 the last 3 seasons. Dave LA says, when the Nationals sweep the Braves, they will be down 3 games. They'll be 3 games back of the Braves. There's DJ Big Boss in the house. Wow, interesting stuff. Okay, well, let's say Kyle Wright is not quite ready for the show. This is a tough lineup he's going up against. Let's see if we can get the opening day lineups quickly here. Here we go. For the Nats, Turner, Eaton, Rendon, Soto, Zimmerman, Suzuki, Dozier, Robles. For the Braves, Acuna, Swanson, Freeman, Donaldson, Markakis, Albies, McCann, and Ciarte. Wow. Red Girl says, I took Nats first 5 under before the pitching change. Unless you made that action, you should be able to get out of it. Ulysses Hayes says, Braves know this stat. Why they're going to win. Chad Cannon says, Braves slowing down a tad. Maxwell Smart says, I ain't no raccoon. So Maxwell Smart broke his nose in a softball game, and he wasn't going on screen. We got him to go on screen. Man, he just looks tougher. He just looks badder with the broken nose. Nothing wrong with that broken nose, Max. It looked good. Kevin Tantillo, our guy Kevin Tantillo says Strasburg is a 4.55 ERA in the last 3 seasons versus the Braves. We hit him hard his whole career. Teheran is a huge. Well, we know there's no Teheran, Kevin Tantillo. There's no Teheran. Not applicable says that's Mando. Yes, we're hoping that our guy DJ Big Boss gives us a new Mando, a Miami Mando impression. Dave LA says, I told you, Jimmy, Nationals have pitchers to slow down this Braves bats. Just a reminder. Just a reminder. 33rd start for Strasburg against the Braves. 13-11. I have 4.03 ERA, 215 strikeouts and 174 in the third. Let's go right to see who hits them. Here, let's see who hits Strasburg in this Braves lineup. Here we go. Batter versus pitcher. Batter versus pitcher. Let's see who hits this guy. This incredible pitcher. 271 average against 790 OPS, and it's Freeman and Acuna that are hitting over 300 with an over 1,000 OPS. Josh Donaldson hitting 900 against them. I still think that the over could be in play if Strasburg gets touched a bit. Let's see what Strasburg has been doing of late. Beat the Phillies on Friday, first start after the All-Star break. 7 hits through 6 scoreless, struck out 6. Made 2 starts in July. He's not allowed to run in 13 1/3. Wow. Elio Topset says, Scout is fading right. I'm 3 deep. I'm 3 units in. Vibrant B says, why are you whispering? Am I whispering again? Jesus. Sorry, when I start really focusing, I guess I whisper. This is something new that's happened. I mean, Nutflush got me off saying dressing room. Now he's going to have to get me to stop whispering. Wow, I feel like that's got to be the spot. The Scout knows what he's doing. If he's fading right, there's a reason he's doing it. Rich G says, don't forget that awful Nats pen on the over. Yeah, I mean, if the Nats pen's bad, so's the Braves pen. They just lost Webb. They've got nothing. Neo Money says, I'll take the Nats team total over then. Let's see what we get on the Nats team total over. Let's go to Pinnacle right now. Nats team total over would be... Where is it? Why would there not be a Nats team total over here at Pinnacle? Why would they be doing this to us? They don't have the Washington game. Oh, because of the pitching change. And let's see if I could even bet this at my book. Maybe I'll wait till the very end of the show. I'm just going to move over to my book to see if they have it right now. Here we go. And yeah, you could bet it. So what's the team total over at my book? It is 5.5 at -105. Okay. Sweet whispering here. Okay. I like it. Rafa says you're not whispering. Okay. I'm going to stay focused. And let's take a quick look at first half. Point spreads. I mean, I guess you can't trust the Nats bullpen too much, but it's not like this other bullpen across the way is even better. I'll take the Nats first 5 -0.5 at -125. That's the Nats first 5 -0.5. Oh, and Elio has the Nats team total over at 2 first 5. Let me see what I have the first half team total over here with the... Oh, I just said it. What am I doing? Going back to Pinnacle. Okay. I'm going to take the Nats. This is my first edition on this late show. I'm taking Nats first 5 team total. Oh, no, sorry. What am I saying? First 5 -0.5. Sorry, the team totals are in my head. First 5 -0.5, and I'm getting -115, and that's available at Bookmaker. Nats first 5 -115. You know, I like that look. That is a nice look. That's a nice look. Coco Bongo says, whispering winners for all the world to hear. Okay, let's keep rolling along. That's our first play. Dave LA says, I'm taking Nationals team total over 5.5, -105 now, adding to the card. Kevin Tantillo says, don't eat juice on this game, Jimmy. I think I have an advantage, especially the scout that Elio rolls with. When he picks a pitcher to fade, he knows exactly what he's talking about. And Strasburg's looked very good so far. I think first 5 -0.5, -115 is a play that I'm comfortable with. But Kevin Tantillo says, don't eat juice on this game, Jimmy. Kevin Tantillo looking out for my best interest. And I respect that and thankful. Daryl Lyles on Nationals, Atlanta over 9.5. I thought about making that move, but Strasburg's just being too good right now. Okay, let's move on to A's Twins. Now, the lineups have come out, and there's no Matt Chapman on it. And that hasn't affected anything. That has not affected anything. At third base, they have Chad Pinder instead of all-star Matt Chapman. A's Simeon, Grossman, Olsen, Kanya, Laureano, Davis, Profar, Pinder, Fegley. For the Twinkies, Kepler, Garver, Cruz, Gonzalez, Cron, Arraez, Sano, Cave, Adrianza. I'm telling you, when I look at this spot, I know everybody's on the A's, and then 2 people came out, and I believe it was Russell Gordy and Dave LA on the Twins. I don't feel like jumping on the A's. And I don't understand why I don't get a much better line when they announce that Chapman's not in the lineup. Let's see what we're getting. Full game, money lines, and totals here. Full game, money lines, and totals. Here we go. Interesting. I was sure. So he got a plus 118, being Babano, on the early show. And I just thought for sure when they announced Chapman, you could get better. And you could get 1 cent better. You could get a plus 119 at U-Wager. But other than that, that just doesn't make sense to me. Nutflush Allen says, great car ride. As Bailey, Caden, and Skylar are in full tilt mode after finding out mom and dad are headed to Miami. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Sorry. I leaked that information. Oh, no. I leaked that information to the Allen family. Yes. Bailey, Caden, Skylar. Hey, you get a weekend to yourself. Bailey's in charge. All right. Dave L.A. says, I'm the biggest Oakland Athletics fan for 4 days. Larry Savage says, what happened to the Twins? Ron Crawford says, Oakland +1 is my dog play. Kobe Valentine says, Oakland are 42-10 versus American League Central. Eric Jones on the A's first 5. Everybody liking the A's. And I don't want to do it. Okay, Maxwell Smart says, good luck. Everybody's got to walk his senior age dog. You're a good man, Max. Russell Gordy says, Twins just got bullied by Mets. No way A's come in and just win. Guru says, Pinder been hitting well. It will hurt us defensively. Larry Savage saying, Oakland 9 wins the last 9 wins last 11 games. They have 12 wins in the last 14 games, 19 wins in the last 24 games. Ski Profit on the A's. I'm not taking the A's. I know Fires has been electric, but something tells me that I'm just a little uncomfortable. Ski Profit says it's simple, like Babano said earlier. I guess we will see how simple it is in a couple short hours. Let's take a look at this total. Do we want to make a move on the total? Let's go to present total. Sorry, here we go. See what we get here on this total. Maybe that is an angle that we can find. Here we go. It is at 10 and moved up to 10.5. Open at 10, now at 10.5. Oh, man. Atlas Party says, Jimmy, it's just like everyone was on the Marlins, and they were right. That's not true. There was a few people on the Padres, and I almost made a move on the Padres. Joe Anisi's on the under first 5, Oakland, Minnesota. Roster Dama says, shootout mini, not applicable, thinks the Twins are going to be in trouble tonight. Kobe Valentine says, I like Oakland. Elio Thompson says, I like Oakland to score 6 or 7 today. I'm going to be cheering for you guys. I want Minnesota to lose badly. Guru says, Fires will get it done for us today. Ron Crawford says that Cleveland AL Central future may come to fruition. Oh, God, that would be nice. Remember, Nutflush Allen gave us the Giants at plus 500 to win the World Series. How about that? That's a beauty. Chad Cannon says Oakland Hot Bats will score in Minnesota. I don't know. I don't like it. Elio says Oakland reverse line looks golden. Doug Barnhouse says Oakland plus 118. Smash it. I am not going to smash it. Let's talk Angels, Astros, and then we have Oh, shoot. We still have 3 games left. So let's keep rolling here. Angels, Astros. Astros are now just 27-23 on the road. Very interesting. 73 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour out to right center. And Boogie Lover Q saying Twins resting bats today. And Ulysses Hayes says he done bump his head. Ross Adamas says travel from Oakland with no off day is my worry. It should be. And Derek Tucker has 20 on the Giants to get to the World Series at 9.99 to 1. That sounds pretty good. Pink Eye Genie liking the under 10.5. Ulysses Hayes liking the Houston money line. Kobe Valentine says Yanks plus 600 to win the World Series is my future. And St. Louis at plus 1,600. All right. Viper MB also liking the Astros -1. Miley versus Harvey. Astros are hitting 265, 794 OPS against righties. Angels are hitting 243, 746 OPS against lefties. They expect Trout to be in the lineup. I imagine these lineups have not been released yet. Let me just do a quick refresh. And they haven't. The only lineup that has been announced is the Diamondbacks for the rest of these games. Okay. Harvey allowed 1 run in 5 2/3 Saturday, but that's against the meek hitting Seattle Mariners. First start since May 23rd. You know, I want to fade Harvey, But has Miley really been that good? He is 3-0 with a 2.22 ERA and 4 career starts against the Angels. May 4th, he faced them, allowed 2 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings. I just wonder if Miley is getting a little worse right now. Let's check it out. Let's take a quick look at exactly what Miley has been doing of late, because maybe the over is in play. Here we go. He was at Texas. Remember, Texas doesn't hit lefties. And he allowed 3 solo shots, and 5 runs, but only 3 earned runs. Before that, at Colorado, he had a great start. Before that, at home to Seattle, he destroyed them. And then at the Yankees. So on the road, he's not looked that good. Overall, on the road, he has a 4.50 ERA. If we think Harvey can get touched, and we think that Miley is susceptible, then that would lead you to believe that the over is in play. This over opened at 10. It's been sitting there all day. There's actually been a 5-cent move towards the under. Let's see what the first half is. The first half is 5.5, and it is moved to the over. That is one play. It opened at -110. It's now at -115. Over 5.5. Elio saying this game is a mess. Russell Gordy says Houston rolling. Dark Knight gets touched. Don't overthink it. Atlas parties on the Houston team total over 5.5. Guru Sportsbet says Miley owns the Angels. Let's take a quick look at exactly what we're dealing with pitcher versus batter here with Wade Miley. Here we go. Miley, they're hitting .256 with a 500 slugging, so an .810 OPS. They have 5 home runs amongst their 20 hits. Wow. And Matt Harvey, just awful numbers. Awful numbers against these Astros. Okay, I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take the first 5 over 5.5. Now, Babano is on the full game over, and I'm going to focus on these pitchers getting dealt with. Over 5.5. What am I getting? Over 5.5. Sorry, quickly here. Let me just go to totals, and let's book it. That's my second addition on this card. Over 5.5 at -115. That's available at both Bet Online and 5 Dimes. Pinnacles moved that to -119. I am on the first 5, over 5.5 at -115. Kobe Valentine says, just remember, even though Harvey might get jacked, LA have good hitting and can easily touch Miley. I'd lean over and Houston -1.5, but I'm off it. Nice to have Kobe Valentine back in the chat. Eric Jones on the Astros money line and run line. All right. Joe Gisletta is on the Angels team total over 4. Okay, beautiful. I like that addition. Now let's move on to Brewers, Diamondbacks, and then we have Mets at Giants, which we don't need to talk about too long because we know that a lot of you guys are on the Giants, and I'm on the over 7, and it was great getting in on that early. Grim Reaper says, Jim and Red Girl, you got Reds game under 10.5. You know, I'm off of the Reds-Cardinals game. And the more I broke it down, though, I'm starting to think I should jump on the Cardinals. And I know I don't want to take them on the road, but I have a feeling that this battery of Tanner Roark and whoever this kid is, Jay Gratterall, there's no way that they would have much comfort together. Wow, Roster Diamond says, home plate, Alan Porter, 13-2 to the over this season. Wow, interesting. Terrell Goodman on the Astros run line. You know, this Cardinals spot is looking more appealing. And again, I want to focus on the first 5 because I just don't trust these guys. And I think that Dakota Hudson's pitching well, and I think Tanner Roark will have an issue here with this catcher who he doesn't know. So I'm going to add Cardinals first 5 to my card. Let's see what I'm getting here. Cardinals first 5. I'm getting plus 108. That is available at 5 Dimes. Cardinals plus 108. Oh, sorry, first 5. All right, it's all coming together. It's all coming together. Nut Flush Allen says, I have a feeling we are in the situation of Giants coming back from Colorado and facing Noah Syndergaard. The bats will struggle. I agree with that. Ulysses Hayes says, I'm a Mets fan with travel time and a 3-hour time difference will make Mets play like crap. Plus, our bullpen is suspect. Boogie Lover Q said, last time you said that about a battery, you were right, Jimmy. I really think it's a great look. And we can say that in the pot. I mean, remember when Tanner Anderson came up for the A's and he was just below average in the PCL league, but they brought up Bo Taylor with them. And he has an incredible first start. And then as soon as Fegley comes behind the plate because the other team's throwing a lefty, Tanner Anderson gets destroyed. I don't even know if he's on the 40-man roster. And Russell Gordy says, nut flush, that's a fact. I'm on Mets first 5. Nut flush, our San Francisco Giants expert. I'm a little uncomfortable with this over, but 7, I just, it was just a pretty nice opportunity. But, if I could go back in time, the market's gone with me. I don't need to panic about it, and I'm not going to panic. Elio Topset says, take the over there, Jimmy. Cards are good for runs. Reds are hot and at home. The Reds, I just can't trust their offense. And it's just Suarez and Puig that are hot for them. I'm comfortable taking the Cards and taking advantage of that Rourke situation. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Quickly, Kobe Valentine saying, someone talking about NCAA basketball futures. 4 teams to win 2020. He's taking MSU, Virginia, Duke, and Michigan. Wow, taking Michigan State and Michigan. Very, very interesting. There's Kobe's 4 plays. Okay. Ron Lawton said Reds did fine their first game after Coors. Giants will be fine. Well, we shall see. Polo this says, Jimmy, whatever happened to Native Queen? Native Queen still pops in the chat once in a while. She still pops in the chat once in a while. We miss her very, very much. And, she loved Pete very, very much. And, we all love Pete very, very much. And, that's all I can think of is that, a lot of people were hurt when Pete left, and she was one of them, is really all I can think about. She pops in the chat once in a while, and I always get very, very excited about it. Okay, Gate Pass Key. We haven't seen him in a long time. Says the Cards are going to get hot on the road the next few weeks. Mark my words, or just don't bother. Okay, giving us a choice there. Terrell Goodman says, was there a Twins play? I missed it. No, Terrell. No, Terrell, there wasn't. I was going through my notes, Terrell, and I can't remember what day I wrote down your Twitter. I think it was the 16th. Let me see. Do I have it on the 16th? Can't find it. Can you give me your Twitter handle again, Terrell Goodman? I just can't find it, man. Okay. Ulysses Hayes saying, Mally Mal saying Dodgers first 5 under was bait. Yeah, it's screwed. Not applicable said, did she run off with Pete? Atlas Party says Native Queen's always on Twitter. Yeah, I follow her on Twitter. Grim Reaper says, I watched Pete for years, man. Pistol Pete. Yeah, Pete's just a spectacular guy and capper, and he's the reason why we're here. We would not all be here on the show if it wasn't for him. And that's why we are low baggers. That's why the low stayed. Viper MB says, took first 5 cards with you, Jimmy. Says, you're hot as fish grease lately. That is actually not true, Viper MB. It stopped this morning. But thank you. There's Anthony L. Here's our guy, Anthony L. Ant L. from the Sports Case. Hey, Jimmy, just popping in to give my plays, Athletics, Diamondbacks, and Astros. Thank you for the heads up on the all of those plays, but especially the Diamondbacks. You know what? We have Anna Merrick ready to go. So why don't we have Anna Merrick cap these last 2 baseball games with us rather than having him sit there on the bench. Anna Merrick, my guy, thank you so much for joining us straight out of Phoenix. Are you still in Minnesota? Maybe you're still in Minnesota. Oh, he is still in Minnesota. Joining us from Minnesota. Our guy, Anna Merrick. How you doing on this Thursday afternoon?
Nope, you had it right the first time, Jimmy. I'm back. I'm in good old Arizona. It's hot as hell, but I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Beautiful. Is it cool if I bring you in to cap these last 2 baseball games instead of keeping you on the sidelines?
You know what? That's fine with me. I'll give it my best shot. I don't know shit about baseball, but I'm here. Let's do it.
Okay. Nut Flush Allen said, like we always say, ride the hot bat. So your play's the right one, Jimmy. Just my gut. Okay. Thank you for that, Nut Flush Allen. Okay. So let's start with this spot here. Brewers, Diamondbacks. We just got a heads up from Ant L that he is on these Diamondbacks. Let's take a look at what we're getting odds-wise with these Diamondbacks. Here we go. Oh, that's first 5, my fault. We're going to go full game, money lines and totals. The Diamondbacks put a lot of money in their pockets yesterday. Could they do that again? And Zach Davies is a tricky pitcher to fade, and we know that he's a pitcher that Ant L despises. It was regularly juiced, or is open at under 9.5, juiced to the under. It's now moved to the over slightly. 7-cent move towards the over. Also, the Brewers opened as slight favorites, and that has now moved towards the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, and Vinny Cornell says Yanks 4-2. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Brewers, Diamondbacks. Brewers are hitting 248, 777 OPS against righties. We can get a look at their lineup. It's the last lineup made available to us. Here we go. Oh, we can see both. Beautiful. Brewers just got announced. For the Brewers, Kane, Yelich, Grandal, Moustakas, Braun, Thames, Hira, Arcia. For the Diamondbacks, Locastro, Marte, Escobar, Walker, Jones, Lamb, Ahmed, and Carson Kelly. Merrill Kelly, 79, 3.93 ERA, 1.27 whip, came over from Korea. Brewers hitting 248, 777 OPS against righties. Diamondbacks hit lefties harder than righties, but they're fine against righties, 257, 48 OPS. Milwaukee had lost 8 of 10 before winning that last 2 games against the Braves. Davies, 2-1 with a 4.15 ERA, 3 career starts. Diamondbacks scored 7 runs in the first inning, 5 in the second yesterday. Are they all out of offense? Pink Eye Genie says, D-backs my squad, and I'm on the Brewers. Wow, Ulysses Hayes is on Arizona. Joshua Matfee liking the under 9.5. MMK says Diamondbacks put up 10 plus. Guru says Merrill Kelly is a better pitcher to fade than Davies. Kobe Valentine said Davies 4-0 versus Arizona, 0.55 ERA in his last 3 starts, 1 run in 16 innings. Have you made any bets on this MLB card today, Anameric?
As a matter of fact, I have not. I generally, more often than not, tail my guy Dave L.A., but this is a spot that I'm staying clear from because the Diamondbacks, even though they're my home team and I'm a fan, I got to cheer for them, they shit the bed more than anybody else I know.
And they're coming off a massive offensive output, and the Brewers are probably feeling better about themselves. Sean Mundy says, Brewers for me. This is not going to be a move I'm making. And then we have the Mets-Giants. I'm on the over 7 at minus 120. Let's make sure that you can't get the 7s anymore. Where is it? Here it is. You cannot. There are no 7s available anymore. They're all 7.5s. That makes me feel a little better. We can't take a look at their lineups, but Syndergaard, Bumgarner. Syndergaard, 4.55 ERA. His whip is still fine, 1.24, but ERA elevated. Mets hit lefties hard. Giants are hitting righties better. Both teams are on 4-game winning streak. Giants are on 5-game. 5-game winning streak. Man, Syndergaard and Bumgarner went head-to-head last month. 3-3 through 9 innings, and then the Giants exploded for 6 in the 10th inning. Syndergaard, 3-2, 3.05 ERA, 6 career starts against the Giants. Bumgarner 2-0 with a 1.80 ERA in his last 4 starts. He's rolling. Struck out 28 and 20. And CJ Martinez says pass. And Pink Eye Genie says Pink Eye play of the day yesterday was Arizona money line. Beat the Taint play of the day, Rangers money line. And today, Pink Eye play of the day is the Brewers money line. And Ulysses Hayes says, no, I'm on Milwaukee. Was making fun of you because you said, oh, did I say Arizona Cardinals? My fault. My mind is on NFL football. And tomorrow we have our very last breakdown of a division, the NFC West. I'm very excited about it. I'm thinking NFL. We talked on Sports Kick about NFL for an hour last night. Well, all that said and done, I'm not adding any plays there. We are going to talk about CFL when we're done this next UFC segment. I have a move that I will be making on this Argos Stampeders game. So once more, going over my plays and plus units for the first time today. Please don't end up in minus units when I get here tomorrow. On these late games, I have nothing on Tigers, Indians. I'm on the Cardinals first 5 plus 108. I'm on the Nationals first 5 minus a half and minus 115. And then I'm on the Astros first 5 over 5.5 and minus 115. Those are my 3 plays, all first 5s. But I do have the Giants Mets over for the Big Boss contest. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Anameric, 4 cutting reasons to put this into our UFC segment. I'm going to start off again right from the start, but it was nice having you hanging with us for the last 5 minutes. So we're going to just bring you on again with a new intro so we can cut it nicely. All right, it is UFC time. Our guy, Anameric, representing Arizona, representing the Heat, coming to us from Phoenix, Arizona, breaking down this UFC San Antonio card. Anameric, how are you doing on this Thursday evening?
I am fantastic, Jimmy. It is hot as balls outside in Arizona already, but I am used to it. I'm ready to go. Speaking of hot as balls, my ass is on a heater. We're on a 2 UFC winning streak, and we're up about 6 units between the 2 of those. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. I love hearing that you are rolling. It feels like all of us on betting with the bag have been rolling lately. I mean, Dave LA's been just fire, but it's more than just Dave LA. It just feels like we're having a great month, or even really a great 6 weeks, to be honest with you. Let's bring out the odds here for UFC, the odds here at sportsbookreview.com. So now, lay the setting for us. Tell us more about San Antonio. Have they hosted one of these before?
You know what? I am not sure. Honestly, I think this might be the first time UFC has headed to San Antonio specifically. It's the most visited city in Texas. It's where the birthplace of Church's Chicken was, and it is also the home of the Alamo. So a couple fun little facts there before we get into there. But this weekend, it's going to be home for kicking some ass. This is a sneaky good card. When I was doing all the study for this one, it took me so much longer than I expected. I dug into it, and there's just so many little wrinkles. It is guaranteed violence this weekend, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Well, let's start with a female who put a lot of money in our coffers as a huge dog, and that is Roxanne Modafferi going up against Jennifer Maia. Why don't we start there? Maia Modafferi. Modafferi opening up plus 110 and getting worse. Money coming on Jennifer Maia. She's now plus 116, a 6-cent move at BetOnline. And America, take it away, Maia Modafferi.
Well, I am what's known as the Modafferi whisperer, Jimmy. I have nailed this girl's fights pitch perfect for like the last 4 or something in a row. I'm all over this girl. She is criminally underrated, and in the perfect spots you get big cashes on her, and that's what we did when she was that plus 300 dog against the lesser Shevchenko sister just a couple of weeks ago. Well, this is a spot where I have to utilize my ability to not just bet on her, but fade her at the appropriate spot. That line movement that you mentioned doesn't quite tell the whole story. When the line opened up, money flowed in on Modafferi first. So it pushed my girl Maia from minus 130 down to about minus 110 at one point. So rather than my usual 1 unit per pick, I have 2 units on Jennifer Maia fading my fan favorite girl Roxy, because I just couldn't pass up a minus 110 when it got that low. So I've got a unit on her at minus 130 and another one on her at minus 113. And that is because she is the perfect example of the kind of fighter that gives Roxy trouble. She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and that's really what Roxy hangs her hat on, is her grappling. Maia is younger, she has better footwork, and she's stronger. Roxy struggles with girls that are physically more powerful than she is. This is actually a rematch. They fought a couple years ago, and it went to a split, and Maia won that fight. Usually when you get rematches, the younger of the 2 fighters is going to be the one that rises before the next fight. She's going to be the one who's more improved since the last time that they saw each other. All of those factors combined leave me believing that this is about... I don't want to say a pick. I'm sorry. That's the wrong term there. She should be a bigger favorite than this. And right now with the money coming in on her, it's getting closer to accurate. But I'd get on it before it gets out of control, because I think everyone's going to see what I see. And when they notice that she's going to be the bigger, stronger fighter in that cage, Roxy doesn't really have anything to offer on the feet. Maia's going to push her around. And if this is a kickboxing match, Maia's going to win this thing relatively easily.
Very exciting. You're right. I never see you making a 2-unit bet, or very, very rarely, I should say, on a single fight on Maia. Got her at minus 130 and minus 113. All right, let's move on to the Klidson Abreu fight for Sam Alvey. Abreu opening up at minus 150, a 22-cent move towards the Abreu, now at minus 172. What's your move here?
Well, I love the value here on my guy Smiling Sam Alvey. We're going to roll with an underdog. You know how I do. He's a power puncher, man. This guy is slow, he's plodding, and if you get the right setup against him, he's relatively easy to take down. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, but this kid Abreu is a jiu-jitsu specialist. He wants to get this thing to the ground, and that's where Sam Alvey has an advantage. He's got really solid takedown defense, and he's got some heat in his fists. So when Abreu tries to close the distance and he tries to get in there on a single leg, that's when Alvey gets to pounce. He doesn't have the kind of power striking that it takes to put Alvey out, and that's the only real way that Alvey loses, is when you've got a power striker who can land on the jaw because they're just a little bit quicker than he is. I don't see that happening. I think this thing is going to be scrappy. I don't see how Abreu submits him, so I think Sam Alvey either knocks him out or we go to the decision, in which case you want that plus 150 in your pocket, because if it's a split, you're not laying any juice.
Wow, I like it. Our first dog of the day, Sam Alvey. Let's move back to a female fight here. Irene Aldana versus Raquel Pennington. Raquel Pennington opening up at plus 145. A big move on Raquel. A 38-cent move on Raquel Pennington. What's your move here?
I am on Pennington. I was one of the ones that was on it early. And this is where I think we just have a fighter who's really all the numbers lie. So she's 9-7, and that's not an impressive record. But the only people that she's lost to are the cream of the crop, the top of the division. In fact, her last 2 losses came against Germaine Durandamy, who won the main event last week, cashing as a plus 158 dog. And then the champion, the women's GOAT and 2-division champion, Amanda Nunes. So you want to say she's on a 2-fight losing streak? Sprinkle a little salt on it. Those are some really, really good, talented fighters to be losing to. And she gave both of them hell. She has really underrated striking. She's a little slow. She's a little stiff. She's mostly a grappler, but she's a pressure fighter. And this is a spot where she's facing a girl in Aldana who's just incredibly inconsistent. When she is on, boy, is she on, and she can be something. But she's not always on. Sometimes she comes in looking like a shell of herself, and it just doesn't really make sense. You never know when she's going to show up. She is a striker. She doesn't have much of a grappling game. She has a solid 95% takedown defense rate, but she has only fought cans or other strikers. So that 95% takedown defense, crunch it up and throw it in the garbage can. It doesn't mean shit in this fight. She hasn't fought anybody that can take her down. So, of course, she has that kind of a takedown rate. I think Pennington is going to get in here. She's going to crowd her up. She's going to close the distance, pin her against the cage, and rough her up or get her on the ground. Once she gets her on the ground, I wouldn't be surprised if Pennington finishes this. Because if they're both on the feet, Aldana's got the lead. But Pennington can hold her own. If they're on the ground, Aldana's a fish out of water, and Pennington's going to kill her.
Wow, great breakdown, and got Pennington at plus 135. You can only get her at around plus 107 or plus 110 right now. Okay, let's speed up the pace a little bit here. We have the next fight. Where is he here? Francisco Trinaldo versus Alexander Hernandez. Hernandez opening up a minus 165, a 25-cent move towards Hernandez. What's your move here?
I got Hernandez at minus 162. The kid's a beast. He got humbled by Cowboy Cerrone, who is a top tier UFC fighter, and he's getting basically a step that's a little more appropriate to how long he's been in the UFC. He's facing Trinaldo, who's a solid fighter, but he's 40 years old and he's slowing down. Hernandez has the perfect skill set to bully a guy like Trinaldo around. Trinaldo is very limited striking. He's got some serious power punches, but he's got to hit you first. Hernandez is going to be too fast for him. And the key piece on this, I want to tell you all here on the Low Bag Show, if Trinaldo keeps his right hand low, which is something he's known to do, Hernandez's best punch is that straight left, and I expect him to clip him with it and have this thing be over in round 2.
Round 2, a round 2 call by our guy, and America. Now we get to the Greg Hardy fight. I can't wait to hear you break this down. Hardy versus Juan Adams. Hardy opened up as a favorite, is now a dog. Was a slight favorite. Minus 115, is now at plus 102. Juan Adams was opened at minus 105, is now at minus 122. Does Hardy lose here, and America?
I think he does. I have faded Hardy every single one of his UFC fights, and I'm not stopping now. The dude is an athlete. He is next level because of his football background, but he doesn't know how to fight. He's got murderous power in his hands, but he still doesn't really know how to use it. He doesn't have much of a ground game either. So the UFC has fed him cans, and he's crushed each and every one of them. But the one time that the UFC gave him an opponent that wasn't quite so bad, which was Alan Crowder, he was getting his ass beat. He didn't end it in first round fashion, and Crowder turned the tables on him. He started stalking Hardy. He started landing bombs on Hardy, and they got into a bit of a grapple, and that's where Hardy landed that illegal knee and got disqualified. If it hadn't been for that disqualification, I'll bet you Crowder stopped the fight in not a whole lot more time, because Hardy gassed so bad he had nothing left to offer. Juan Adams is a legitimate fighter. He cannot match the athleticism of Hardy, but he can match the size of Hardy, and he actually has wrestling skills. He's also got fighting skills. He's been training a whole lot longer than Hardy has. So when this thing goes, tit for tat, I expect Juan Adams is going to be the more well-rounded fighter. And since he's going to be big enough that Hardy can't just push him around, the wrestling will come into play. Juan Adams is a legitimate college-level wrestler. So I think he'll be able to put Hardy on his back, pin him up against the cage, wear on him, and when both these guys are gassed out, Juan Adams has a whole lot more output than Hardy does. I think this is where we really can cash in, fading on him because he's got a real opponent in front of him.
I like it. I like the look. Juan Adams. Now let's move on to the Walt Harris, Alexei Olynyk fight. Walt Harris opening at -158. Very little movement. A 1 cent move towards the dog here. What do you like in this Walt Harris battle?
I like the dog. Can't tell you much else. So Olynyk is a legend. Now, he's 42 years old, and I've got a strict rule that you don't bet on anybody who's older than 40 in mixed martial arts because Father Time is undefeated, and eventually he gets us all. But I have a very good reason in this case for doing so. Walt Harris is a disappointing UFC fighter. He's a legitimate kickboxer. He's got power in his hands, but he hasn't fought anybody, whereas Olynyk has been around forever and fought a who's who of MMA, and the only people that he's lost to are legitimate elite names, guys like Alistair Overeem. He was the first guy to ever finish Mark Hunt, and not only did he finish him, he choked his ass out in the first round. Olynyk is no joke, and he's got some crazy old man Russian bear strength, and I really think that's going to be a problem in this fight. He's going to get the clinch. He's going to get this thing to the ground or even up against the cage. He's got not one, but two Ezekiel chokes. And if you don't know what those are, go YouTube them, look them up. They're a choke that is very, very unlikely to happen. And he's hit it twice in the UFC, the top level of competition. Harris isn't going to know how to stop those kinds of things. If Harris can't get the KO, Olynyk will find a way to choke him out. And I'm going to roll those dice.
Exciting. Backing Olynyk here. Very, very exciting. This does sound like a very packed card. Now let's move on to RDA. Leon Edwards against RDA. RDA opened up as a dog and has stayed there. No market movement, but not a big dog. +110. Leon Edwards at -130. What's your move here?
I'm on the dog again. And Jimmy, like I told you, man, this card is legitimately stacked. It doesn't have that star popping power like some of the other ones we've seen this year do, but it's just solid from top to bottom. And this one, RDA, I don't know why they keep doubting my boy. He's a legitimate title challenger, title contender. He's the former 155-pound champion. And now I'm going to say this, it's a bold statement. He might be the best 155-pounder that there has ever been. And yes, I'm including Khabib in that conversation. His body shut down. He was too big for the division, so he moved up to 170. The only people that can stop him at 170 are legitimate high-caliber wrestlers, and that's the champion in Kamaru Usman and the interim champion in Colby Covington, both which have wrestling as essentially their only and 90% of their skill set. So those are the only guys that can stop Rafael dos Anjos. If you're going well-rounded skills versus well-rounded skills, you're not beating this guy. Leon Edwards is the dark horse of 170 pounds. I'm a huge fan of his, and he does everything sneaky good. But he doesn't do anything better than Rafael dos Anjos. He shouldn't be a dog. This line should be flipped. Maybe it's thin value, but I'm not betting against Rafael dos Anjos unless you're a top 3 challenger, and Leon Edwards is not.
Wow, great breakdown. Elio Topset likes Leon here. Mr. Fatfist is with you with the Alexei move. Says and he's friends with Walt Harris and he's going against him. Elio says, I think Alexei outsmarts Harris and it's over in the second. And this is just great stuff. Our guy, An American, I see that you've put a parlay together for your low baggers. Can you break that down?
Absolutely. So my philosophy on parlays for MMA is every once in a while you'll get those lines that are just a little bit too wide. But in MMA, all it comes down to is who wins and who loses. It's not like some of the other sports where it's really thin and you've got spreads and shit like that. If you've got a guy who's about a -180 favorite and the line's sitting at -200, you don't really want to lay the juice. But if you parlay him with another guy that's right around the same ballpark, you're getting value on both of those guys coming through because they should. So what we're going to to do is we're going to parlay Jin Soo Sun earlier on the card, who's about a minus 200 favorite right now. And we're going to sit him with Big Ben Rothwell. Now, Jin Soo Sun is a relative newcomer to the UFC, and he's fighting somebody else who it's also their only second fight in the UFC. Jin Soo Sun gave Peter Yan a run for his money, and nobody has been able to say that so far. Yan is going to be fighting for the title in his next fight. So saying that you're a newcomer to the UFC and you've got that kind of credentials, just barely stepping into the cage, somebody else who's on their second fight is going to get crushed. Not only that, but he is the protege of the Korean Zombie. And the Korean Zombie won by devastating first-round KO in about a minute in his last main event and is a legend of the sport. So if he's hanging his hat on this kid, you know he's damn good. So Big Ben Rothwell is coming in after a layoff. He popped for a tainted supplement, but it turns out it was a false positive. So the poor guy lost several years of his fighting career over that whole thing. He's coming back with a vengeance. He's ready to crush some people. And he's facing Andrei Arlovsky, who's another legend in the sport and has only won 2 of his last 10 fights. I mean, the poor guy can't put a win together to save his soul. Big Ben Rothwell is going to have the height advantage, the reach advantage. He's got more power in his punches these days. His chin holds up and is better. He's just better all around. So we're going to stick those two together. We've got plus 131, risking 1 unit instead of risking 4. And we're going to look for an easy cash.
I absolutely love it. What a spectacular breakdown of the UFC card this weekend from our guy, Anna Merrick. Anna Merrick, where can we find you on Twitter? And also, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Well, I've got a podcast these days, the Die Hard MMA podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Die Hard MMA Pod. I go into a lot more depth on these fights. I break everything down, have a little bit of fun. Since I started doing the podcast back in January, we are plus 28.68 units. So not too shabby, doing pretty good, rolling right along. And hit me up, throw me a follow. Everybody come hang out.
I love it. There is our guy, Anna Merrick. I follow both his podcast and his personal Maximus in 3D on Twitter. You guys should as well. There's our guy, Anna Merrick, breaking down UFC. All right, we have one more spot on this show, and that is the CFL game here. Argos versus Stamps. The Argos have allowed the most points of all CFL teams this season. Their special teams are terrible. The Stamps offense is very good. And Arbuckle is an underrated pivot. And if you look at Bethel Thompson from last game, when the Bombers completely destroyed them and it helped with 2 quick special teams TDs off the top, Bethel Thompson, what happens is if you're up 30, the Bombers start putting in their backups, which is something that could easily happen here if the Stamps start beating up on this Argos team. They start putting in their backups. Bethel Thompson starts eating. Bethel Thompson threw for 388 yards in that loss. The Stampeders allow sacks. The Stampeders have a young defense with new players in new positions. Now, I'm not going to take the Argos. Not at all. I'm also not going to take the Stamps at 13 when it was once 10. But with a bad special teams, with an offense in the Stamps that's absolutely rolling, to me, I like the over. And I'm going to hammer it. Muhammad Joma says Stamps win this by 24. Not applicable says Stamps roll. If the Stamps win this by 24, I'll hit the over because the Stamps defense is not that good. It's not the Stamps defense that we remember from years past. New players in new positions, young players working in new roles. I am taking the over 52. I'm going against the market move. It's opened up at 53.5. It's now at 52. And I'm going on the over 52. I'm getting it at minus 102 at Heritage. There's a minus 105 at BetOnline and a minus 105 at 5 times. So I'm taking 52 at minus 102 at Heritage. So over 52 at minus 102 at Heritage. Book it. Pink Eye Jeans on Calgary, minus 12.5 full game, minus 7 first half. Derek Tucker parlayed Winnipeg and Stampeders tonight. Beautiful stuff. Bookie Lover Q says Stamps blowout. You know, I feel like the over is the best possible spot for me. I do. And we will see. And actually, Rafa, could you pop up that record? Because I want you guys, you know, I was rolling hot. I was 6-2 at the gate. And then I lost 2 disappointing bets, 2 bad bets to go to 6-4. And then I took the All-Star break off of betting so I could come back refreshed. So a very small amount of plays so far in CFL. All right, that's the action. So I'm on the Stamps over 52 at minus 102. And then I'm on 4 plays on this late card. 4 plays. I am on the Mets Giants over 7 at -120. I'm on the Astros Angels first 5 over 5.5 at -115. I am on the Nats first 5 -0.5 -115. Russell Gordy's made me feel uncomfortable about that bet. And that's why we work together as a team. We're trying to win as a team. And Russell Gordy's also on the Reds first 5. And I'm on the Cardinals first 5. And Russell Gordy, I really think, and we'll see, we'll come back here. I really think that there's no way I make this bet if it's not a brand new battery for the Reds. There's no way I make this bet if it's, Tanner Roark's regular catcher. Okay, that's the action. Now, I'm pretty excited to have Freddie Fortune back in the house, coming off a big winner. I don't know if any of you guys tailed his draw, but the Crown Prince of Draws struck again 2 days ago, and he's back in action. So please welcome to the show none other than Freddie Fortune.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Big win for you, isn't it?
Yeah, plus 230.
Yeah, plus 230 draw?
Yeah. It was a tie.
Yeah.
Since I'm the Crown Prince of Ties.
Oh, did I say draws again? I keep sorry. Yeah, Crown Prince of Ties. Great work.
Yes, thank you. I'm not happy about what's going on.
I can think of so many things that you could be unhappy about. What is this thing?
Have you noticed a trend on my Twitter page? Every time I post a winner, the fucking people stop following me.
Well, we do have a family, a sweet family, on vacation listening to this show. So why don't we try to keep?
What are you talking about? What family?
The Nutflesh Allen family. They're on vacation and they're listening to our show right now.
They're watching the show.
Yeah, or listening.
Hi. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but fuck everyone.
Whoa! Come on. All right, come on. All right. Can we continue this with a clean language?
I don't know why people does this all the time. Everyone's talking about my tight pants, about my balls. They talk about my forehead, which is not that big,
That's pretty
They
big.
never talk about my winners. Never.
Big.
I gave them a plus 230 line. And what do? They make fun of me. Why? Why? Tell me, not Flesh Allen family. Tell me why. Larry never does anything for anyone, and he gets the praise all the time. He doesn't even reply to tweets on Twitter. I'm on Twitter 24/7. I make videos for Twitter for people to have fun with me, not fun about me. That's not great,
It's not great use
It
of
feels
English
like
language.
shit.
Well, come on. I mean, we need it.
I'm not giving plays anymore.
What? Well.
Wait! Why? I'm not giving plays anymore. Aren't you going to ask me about my plays? Don't you want my plays?
Leche! Hey, those
no,
bookmakers!
Rafa, no. Why am I coming into the show then? To be a clown? What am I?